Hi everyone, this is Bonnie from Good Earth Spa, and today I am going to be making some clear soap. This is also remeltable soap base, and it does have a slight yellow color to it, I guess, but it's mostly clear. And just so you can see the clarity, I'm just using a Walgreens insert so you can kind of see, and this is a 1-inch thick slice. Approximately, something like that. Okay, so that's the soap I'm going to be making today. You can cube it up and microwave it to melt it down, and it will melt just fine. I've been able to melt it a couple of times. I've also made this recipe a couple of times, including doubling it, and everything worked out just fine. So first thing, we do need goggles and gloves for this project. And I'm going to be using a lot of different ingredients from a lot of different suppliers, so I just wanted to take a moment to say that this is not advertising any one company over any other company. The only company that I work for is my own company, so I don't work for any of the companies, but I will supply links with suppliers and where you can buy everything in order to make this. So this is just me showing you how to make the soap, okay? And I'll tell you more about the supplies as we go. We need 3 ounces of distilled water, 1.5 ounces of lye. So first I'm going to add 3 ounces of water to my container. There we go. These are weight measurements, so if you're using metric system, then you can just use a conversion calculator and convert everything into grams. Okay, 1.5 ounces. Be careful in this step because it does make fumes. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to mix it in and kind of hold my breath and then move it over under the exhaust fan. Okay. So now I'm going to kind of let that cool and stir it occasionally, and we're going to need a crock pot today. This is just a cheap crock pot that I got at the Goodwill store, a secondhand store. It still works just great, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this part and just get this preheated because I'm going to use this for measuring now. So I'm going to plug it in, kind of set it to the side. I'm working on low. You can also work on high if you want to, but I like to work on low because it prevents evaporation of ingredients. You will not need a hand mixer or blender of any kind. A spoon, or I'm using a rubber spatula is all you need for mixing. So now we need to measure out the oils and the fatty acids. First ingredient here is going to be 1 ounce of coconut oil, and I have a big bucket here that I got from Soaper's Choice that I'm just scooping this out of. Of course, there's a lot of places that you can get coconut oil, including right in the grocery store. Okay, so that's a little too much, a little too little. Perfect. Next ingredient is castor oil. Castor oil is 3.2 ounces. This is going to yield about 2 pounds, by the way. 2.5 pounds, something like that. Okay. Okay, next ingredient is stearic acid. The stearic acid I'm using now is from Brambleberry. Like, they sent it in this bag. They had a web special a while back and I really stocked up on it, but you can also get it at the Sage, which is where I got it previously, and I just reuse and refill this canister because it's easier to work with. So 4.2 ounces of stearic acid. stearic acid will help to keep your soap really hard. The next, here it is. The next thing I have here is Myristic acid. This helps, this fatty acid will make your soap really bubbly, so this really helps. So let me tear it out, and we're adding 1.9 ounces of Myristic acid. Okay, that's 1.9 ounces. Yes, I'm using a microwave safe silicone. This is actually safe to 450 degrees. So I microwave this to get it all melted down so that it doesn't take forever in the crock pot. You can, of course, just leave it in the crock pot and wait a long time for it all to melt, but I just like to microwave it for a couple of minutes at a time and stir it in between and get it all microwaved. So I'll be back and I will let you know how long that took. Of course, microwave times will vary due to variation in the wattage of your microwave oven. That's funny. Okay, so I'm gonna get it all melted down. I'll be right back. It took about 4 minutes in my microwave oven to get everything melted. So that was 2 minutes, and then I kind of stirred everything back up again. Another 2 minutes later, all melted. So now we're getting ready to add the lye. By this time the lye should be completely dissolved. It doesn't have to be cool or anything, it can be warm. In fact, just so that I don't get questions later, I'll take a temperature reading of this. This is at 136 right now. The lye happens to be at 98. Okay, but it's not really a big deal. I mean, you don't want it, I would say don't do this over 180 maybe. It's not necessary. Okay, so now I'm going to be mixing this in gradually because this saponifies super, super fast. And if you throw it all in at once, it's going to be hard to mix. And just to be sure, like, nothing sticks to the bottom, I just put a little bit in and then mix it up, put a little bit more in. Okay, that's all my lye. So now, kind of like hot process soap, I'm just waiting for it to go through a gel phase. So it will get a little bit more translucent looking, like a little bit more clear, a little bit more Vaseline type look to it, but it's pretty subtle. So if you're not really sure what to look at, I would say just cover this all up, let it cook for about 20 minutes or so, and then come back. So I'll be back. My soap mixture took about 6.5 minutes to go through its gel phase. So now I'm ready for the next step. It doesn't matter if you cook it a little bit longer, so if you're not sure, you can just, you know, set the timer, come back. All right, so next I'm adding this, let me just show you the label. This cocoa betaine from Essential Wholesale and Labs, and the cocoa actually has a really, really long word that I don't want to try to pronounce. So I will put that in the description box below of the full chemical name for it. and it's supposed to be a gentle surfactant. So, and it's it doesn't contain sulfates, but it is a detergent, okay? Okay, so I'm doing 7 ounces of this. Okay. And if you don't like that it has detergent, I have another melt and pour soap making video that uses only oils without detergents. So you can check that out in my other videos. Okay, so I'm just gonna mix this in a little bit. Okay, the next ingredient that I'm adding, which is what's going to make this meltable, remeltable, is propylene glycol. I got my propylene glycol from Essential Depot, and this is the gallon container. In case you are wondering, I actually have weighed the container and then the propylene glycol on a separate, on a different one, and it came to 8 pounds 10 ounces or 138 ounces. In case you were curious about that. So I just write it right on the bottle so it's easy for me to remember. 12 ounces. I'm gonna mix this in now. And the next ingredient I'm going to be adding is sorbitol, 70%. Sorbitol is a sugar alcohol. So that's what mine looks like. It came from Essential Wholesale. 6.5 ounces of the sorbitol 70% solution. So let me tear my scale out and measure out 6.5 ounces. Just got a tad extra in there, but I don't think it'll be a big deal. Okay. And stir things up a little bit more. And the next ingredient I'm going to be adding is glycerin. I'm adding 2.5 ounces of glycerin. Here's my vegetable glycerin. Okay, vegetable glycerin going in. Let's get this so you can see it. Okay. Just trying to make sure I get everything in there. All right. Okay, so I just want to give it a good little stir to make sure that there's no huge chunks. I don't want any huge chunks. If there are huge chunks, then I would, you know, break them up. Like this one can kind of break up a little bit, just because I want more surface area. Okay, so now I'm going to cover this and let it cook for about an hour, and then I will come back and check on it. So I'll see you then. So now it's been an hour, so I'll show you where I'm at. Looks like I need a little bit more time. Temperature's only at 134-ish. I kind of thought it would be a little bit higher right now, but that's fine. If it goes a little higher, it will all mix together quicker. But if your temperature's not going quite so high, then it just needs a little bit more time. So it's almost completely mixed up. I'm going to give it another 30 minutes, I think, and see if it dissolves all the way by then. So I'll be back in 30 minutes. Again, it might not take you quite so long. It might take a little bit longer. I'll be back. So now I'm even closer, but I'm not quite there yet. I just need a little bit more time, but you can see that it's almost all... Ooh, it's actually getting kind of foggy. Let's see if I can adjust this. There we go. Okay, so we're almost there, but it's not completely dissolved yet. Let me take a temperature reading. That's about 142. So I'm just gonna stir this a little bit more, and then hopefully these last little bits are gonna dissolve. But I do have one more ingredient that I need to measure out and add to this. And since we're almost done, I'm gonna get that ready. So I'll cover this while I measure out this last ingredient. And just kind of set it aside for a second. Okay, so the last thing is triethanolamine. Okay, this kind of helps your soap be more clear. We're using 1.2 ounces of this. Okay. Okay, I have some soap molds now. All right. Oh yes, we are almost there. Okay, so now I'm mixing in the triethanolamine. At this point, I like to gently mix so I don't get tons of bubbles in my finished product. I just have like a couple of stubborn pieces left, so I'm just kind of squishing them against the side to break them up a little bit more so they dissolve quicker. Okay, while I gently mix, I'm just kind of getting my mold ready over here. Alright, so you're kind of getting some more vapor clouds, huh? Making it cloudy to see. Alright, so everything should be fully dissolved now, and you should have a transparent looking liquid mixture. So now we just have to pour it in the soap mold, and should be pretty much done here. Now be careful because it's going to be kind of hot. You might need like oven mitts for this if it's too hot. Okay, I just have a little bit that seems like it's not going to fit in there, so I'm just going to pour that excess off. And I have a bottle of ethanol alcohol or Everclear that I'm just spraying off just to get those bubbles off, just like if you were making a regular melt and pour soap base. Okay, so I can unplug my crock pot now because I'm done. Let's see, you can let it sit at room temperature to get hard, or you can stick it in the refrigerator to get it to solidify a lot faster. I'm gonna stick it in the refrigerator because I don't want to wait, and then I will come back and unmold it for you so I can show you the finished product, which will, or we hope, looks like this one. All right, see you in a few. Back, and the soap is at room temperature now, and I kind of shook it a little bit so I have some ripples on the top, but you'll still be able to see the soap. Okay, you can kind of see my hands through it. Let me see if I can get something else. So you can see through the soap now. It's a clear soap. So now, let's see, I had, oops, no, that was the one that came from. I just had a tiny bit extra that didn't fit in that mold, so I can show you that thinner piece. All right, so now I'll cut up a little bit of it and melt it. Okay, so there's a piece right there. So there are some cut up cubes. I'm gonna go ahead and give it 30 seconds in the microwave and then see how close we are to melted. Okay, after 30 seconds, it's clear that we need a little bit more melting because there's some solid pieces in there. So I'm gonna give it a little bit longer, just until everything is completely remelted. I'm just doing this to show you it's remeltable. Okay, after another 30-second pulse, it's completely fluid. So that's good. I've just been kind of stirring it for a minute, so it's at about 114 degrees. And I just want to, I have this purple colorant that does not work in cold process soap, so I'm just gonna give it a try. I haven't tried it in any melt and pour soap yet. So. Okay, I think I got all the clumps. Yeah, that mica was clumping a little bit. I think I'm okay now. And now I have a little Milky Way mold with cute little fishies. There's one. There's another one. And there's the last fish.